The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Acuma, its board of directors, its management staff, or its members. The podcast discussion presented is conversational in nature and for general information only.
Hello and welcome to Acuma's On Point Podcast, a series focused on sharing the stories of people who are making a positive impact in the credit union mortgage industry. I'm your host, Peter Benjamin. Today's episode is being brought to you by LoanCare. LoanCare understands the critical role member satisfaction plays in building long-lasting relationships. Their digital-first approach ensures a seamless, user-friendly mortgage servicing experience that's designed for mobile convenience, so your members have access to all their important information anywhere, anytime. And by leveraging sophisticated analytics and account-based marketing, LoanCare empowers you to deliver tailored financial guidance and relevant product offers to your members throughout the life of their loan. Whether navigating interim financing, servicing home equity products, reducing operational costs, or generating new revenue, LoanCare's award-winning digital tools support effortless portfolio management across diverse mortgage types, investors, and members. Choose LoanCare as your mortgage servicer or strategic partner and committed to combining personalized convenience, advanced technology, and member loyalty to propel your business success. Welcome back to the fifth and final episode of our MI mini-series. Each episode will feature an intimate conversation with people who I consider to be champions of the credit union movement, with the goal of obtaining their open and honest perspective on how we can move the credit union movement forward. Our next guest in the MI mini-series is Michael McDermott, account manager with Essent Guaranty Mortgage Insurance. Michael, welcome, and how are you doing today?
Well, Peter, I'm doing great, and I can't thank you enough for being here. It's my first podcast, so I'm very excited to be here.
Okay, my pleasure. My pleasure. Actually, I've been looking forward to this. When Krista told me that we were going to be sitting down and having a conversation, about your thoughts on the credit union industry and your love of it, I was really excited, and a couple of reasons why. Because actually, just recently, you and I, had an opportunity to sit down, and I wish it was actually over a beer or a bourbon or something like that. But recently, we sat down and connected because you and I actually have a very similar background. We worked, I don't want to say together, but we worked, basically together at the same exact place at the same exact time a long time ago, and we kind of had this connection, and I got to know you a little bit more. So I became really excited when Chris told me that we were going to have this conversation. But anyways, I need to take a step back. I need to bring Justin into the conversation. Justin, Hawk, how you doing today? And by the way, do me a favor, give us all the latest and greatest happening over at Acuma.
Peter, I'm doing good. How are you?
Living the dream.
There you go. That's his favorite response. All right. So over here at Acuma, we're not busy. We've been sitting around waiting,
twiddling our thumbs.
We are 3 weeks away from our 2024 Make Your Mark annual conference.
Yes, we are.
I'm excited. I know the team's excited. Peter's over here on eggshells. He's so excited. You can just see it in his face right now.
I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. It's that moment where
it's before mom's
spaghetti's all over my shirt, and it's that getting ready. It's game time, baby. It's game time. We're getting ready to do this.
See, I figured you were going to go with Rocky Balboa, not Eminem, but that's cool.
It had to be something. It had
to be something. No, but we have an agenda that we've been working on. We've said it in every episode leading up to this. We have an agenda that we've been working on all year. It's coming together. It's ready to hit launch, and we're super excited to have everybody come out, see us, and take in all that great content that we have planned. And then also coming up, we have the YPN meeting this month. So be on the lookout for more information that will be coming shortly. And if YPN and annual don't fit your fancy, we also have our inside tracks and fast track webinars. So we have educational content that happens year round, something for you to take in on the go all the time.
Okay. Going back to annual. I couldn't be more proud of the agenda that we put together. I know I keep saying it, but here we are 3 weeks out. I keep reviewing my notes, getting ready to kind of, get my game face on and think about, the task that lies ahead. But, between, everyone that's coming, coming and representing, Fannie, Sandra Thompson, representatives from Federal Home Loan Banks, the various representatives from the various Federal Home Loan Banks, representatives from the CFPB. I mean, we have done nothing but work tirelessly, or really over the past year and a half, to bring representatives from across the country, policymakers from across the country to our annual conference, because we know that education is key for our members' success, and be more proud of the work that this team has done, and really looking forward to this. I think our members are going to walk away really prepared to kind of navigate, next year. And who knows what the market's going to be like next year, but really think that they're going to be better prepared. So thank you very much for that update, Justin. Really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, Michael, again,
Yes,
looking forward to this conversation. Again, we sat down, Nashville a couple months back, connected over a mutual experience, First National Bank of Arizona, where we both spent some time in the wholesale side of our industry. We both had mutual connection in Craig Chapman, also another credit union person. But I know we're not here to talk about that and reminisce about the good old days of the mortgage industry. We're really here to kind of talk about why we love credit unions. But before we do that, I want to take a step even further back and learn a little bit about you, Michael McDermott. And for you, you said this was your first podcast, and I think it's beneficial for you to know. Acuma's On Point podcast was started based off this idea, right? That when you think about all the podcasts that are out there, and there's a lot out there. There are policy podcasts, there are economic podcasts, there's all these different podcasts and they're great podcasts that are out there, but there's not one podcast that highlights the human factor of people in our side of the industry, the credit union mortgage industry, people that make a positive impact. And it's always in my intro, people who make a positive impact in our industry and sharing their stories, right? And so that's why the first question is kind of geared towards that. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Tell us your story. Tell us a little about yourself and who you are. So let's go with that.
Well, Peter, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to be here and be part of your mortgage insurance mini-series podcast. On behalf of Essent and myself, it's definitely an honor to be here. And like I said, it's my first podcast. So definitely I had a little nerves coming into it, but definitely you have made it very relaxed, and I'm looking forward to the next little bit. So
love it.
He didn't have to give you the $100 for that. Just so you know.
No, man. Hey, man, it's all casual, man. It's all casual. Hey, woosah. That's all we do, man.
I'll remember that in Vegas. So
that's right. That's right.
When I may need a little extra pocket cash. Right. Just teasing. As you mentioned, my name is Michael McDermott, and I've worked for Essent Guaranty for the past 10 and a half years. I'm an account manager, and I cover both Missouri and Illinois, as well as work very closely with all of you here at Acuma. My mortgage career started while I was still in college, where I worked as a teller in a local bank back in the early days of the first secondary market loans, right? So that was way back in 1992. And my goodness, what is that? 32 years.
But we're not counting. We don't count numbers. We don't count numbers.
Math is usually hard, so I'm kind of impressed that I did that math that quickly.
Yeah, seriously, we're in the mortgage industry. We don't do math.
Oh my goodness. I am happily married to my awesome wife, Casey Jones, for the past 27 years. And we have two grown children. My daughter Megan is 27, and my son Ryan is 24. and I live in O'Fallon, Missouri, which, if you don't know, is a suburb of the best baseball town in the country, which for all of you listening is St. Louis.
All right. Love it. Love it. All right. So I appreciate you walking us through that. And I think that kind of paints the picture, your experience and your time in our industry and you, like, a lot of our other, MI guests and have kind of shared this mixed experience of, mortgage and MI. And I find it interesting that, everyone always starts on that, the primary side, that mortgage side. And you always kind of sort of find your way into the MI space, right? Natural progression, right?
Yep.
And so what is it about that natural progression, that MI side? And by the way, I see you at our events and I see you interact with our members. And I see you interact with my team, and this is, I mean this in the best way possible. You love what you do. I see it in your face. I see it in, our audience who's listening to this podcast right now, they can't see it, but just by me talking about you and kind of sharing, my thoughts about you, the biggest smile on your face right now. I mean, you can tell that you love your job. You love being an MI, like being on the MI side. What is it about that side of our industry that you just love? And really, I guess the first part of that, what kind of made you kind of change to that side and go MI? But why do you love it so much?
Well, great question, very great question, and I have a few parts to respond to on that. And it's I've been told before that that I appear, that it comes off exactly like how you just explained. So it's refreshing to hear that from yourself, because it is, and I absolutely love what I do. And a little bit about that is, as I had mentioned, my career in the industry dates me, and I've had several different roles in those past 32 years. And before I had joined Essent, and I will tell you, mortgage insurance was not one of those that I thought I would ever be in. The mortgage insurance reps that I knew 11 years ago are still mortgage insurance reps today. They never leave. That said, Essent was still in its infancy back in 2013, and a spot had opened up in my market, and I was approached by my now manager, Laura Ritter, who I had known from being a wholesale and correspondent rep with, and she thought that I would be a great fit. And, the rest, they say, is history. As far as the mortgage, I want to touch on, as far as mortgage financing goes, you all know that there are dozens of partners that play a crucial role of a successful mortgage loan transaction.
Oh, yeah.
Mortgage insurance is one of those parts that is quite possibly one of the most important. I think that outside of the investor funding the transaction, if you don't have 20% to put down, we're there to bridge that gap to assist those members in achieving the American dream. Mortgage insurance is also, in my opinion, a little bit of a misnomer. And I think that is in large part because it's misunderstood. And I'll expand a little bit of my thoughts on that. But, some view it negatively as an additional cost to the member, when in fact, mortgage insurance was created to increase home ownership opportunities to put more people in homes. Kind of carrying on to the rest of my thoughts there is, I can't tell you how many realtors, loan officers, processors, and some members when they meet me at one point or another, and they, oh, you're the guy that charges me those high PMI premiums that I get nothing for, and so on. And when I give an opportunity to say, can I explain it? Can I explain it a little bit more? And when they take the time to listen to me and explain it in detail, 100% of the time at the end of the conversation, they are thanking me for helping them truly understand it and what it means and what it does. And this is one that is really eye-opening, where without it, they're still renting and missing out on years of equity growth versus growing the equity in the rental property that they're in for their landlord.
Yep. I mean, so let's take a step back, right?
Sure.
I mean, and I like that you kind of went down that path, right? It is another option and tool for mortgage lenders to use, right? An underutilized tool that credit unions should be using. And I'm gonna focus on credit unions, right? Let's use 2020 and 2021, and I'll just round and say Q1 22, right? When interest rates were historically low, right? If you didn't lock in your interest rates during that time frame, and all of a sudden here it comes Q2 22, and interest rates went from sub 4% to 7%, and it wasn't exactly that, but did essentially that. I mean, you were up creek without a paddle, right?
Oh, for sure.
So, but let's take it even a step further back, right? But let's say you were one of those potential home buyers that had it in their mind that I need 20% to buy a house, right? And I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna wait it out because 3% or 4% will always be there, right? Well, you know what? It's not here anymore, right? Had they taken advantage of a 90 or 95%, whatever it was, but instead, just kind of went that direction and went with MI, they probably could be in that house right now, right?
100%. Oh, yes, sir.
Yep. And I think that's the tough part, and I wish, and honestly, I wish more credit unions would have a better understanding of MI and train their loan officers how to sell it. And I think that's also part of it. We don't do a good enough job as an industry training our loan officers how to properly sell MI, and that's just me. And I don't want you to answer that. That's me saying it, having been on that side as the head of a mortgage division. Loan officers didn't want to sell it, and I know that from experience. But anyways, so
well, I know you don't want me to comment on it, but I feel like it being current right now, one of the things that I'm talking to a lot of credit unions out there, and I offer this to every one of them, is, hey, when you're having your monthly sales meeting, if you need someone to talk for 10 minutes about anything, 20 minutes, whatever the time frame is. And, let's face it, all these sales managers, they need content, right? And some of so they're all very welcoming. And lately, I would tell you the majority of what I'm talking about is exactly that, Peter, is, they're so used to using monthly mortgage insurance, and they don't understand, all the other options that, are there for single premiums, and how it can be lender paid, it can be borrower paid, it can be partially paid. There's refundable mortgage insurance, and the reasons and the benefits and pros and cons of all of it. And, it's very valuable because loans nowadays are becoming more and more scarce. There's lots of competition. I don't want to say scarce, but the competition is stronger, and they need to make sure that they're utilizing every part of every product. As I mentioned earlier, there's so many parts to the process. There's so many things. And if this can be one of them that helps educate them and makes them a little bit better, it's definitely current, and it's very beneficial. So no, it was a very good topic there.
All right. So let's go to the next question. All right.
Yes,
so
sir.
This is a question that that we talked about, a little bit before the call, right? Mm-hmm. The credit union movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you love the credit union movement? You love our members. You love Acuma.
I do. Yep.
But, why are you so passionate about Acuma? Why are you so passionate about the credit union movement and helping credit unions?
First of all, and this certainly shouldn't be any secret or any surprise to anyone listening, but credit unions were created as an alternative to the banks. Banks are transactional, for-profit institutions, whereas credit unions were created to be the voice of and for your members. And if you take care of the member, the bottom line will take care of itself. And credit unions do it in a way that make the members feel like they're a very important part of the success, and that's big. I can't tell you how refreshing it is to work with lending partners that view their members essentially as like an extension of their family and not just a number. honestly. So
I love it. I mean, it's always warming to kind of go to my local credit union and kind of be reminded of that you're not just that number, right? That you are in that I or any members very much embrace as part of that community, right?
mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we in Acuma kind of call our community the Acuma community, right? Because it kind of carries forward with the idea that credit unions they view their membership very much as that community, right? That membership community. And it is part of that ongoing, how do we support each other, right? What are the ways that we can ensure that our membership is financially stable, not just today, but tomorrow, right? And I think that's the power of the credit movement. Now, to that point, the next question is, credit unions, to all their strengths, right? They're passionate about their members, right? We are passionate about our members, but in many ways, we are behind the time, right? And I see it, you see it. I mean, it's conversations that you hear, I hear. Justin, you hear it. I mean, Justin gave an excellent presentation, and you heard Justin's presentation about marketing at our Nashville and Denver workshops.
Mm-hmm.
We're behind the times when it comes to monetization, right? Or even just things we could be doing differently to kind of come ahead of the competition. So, in your opinion, what can we be doing to kind of get ahead of the competition?
Of all the questions that we've had, this is by far my favorite. So I looking real forward to having this discussion. But I think the biggest part of this would, in my opinion, would be they must be willing to open up their vision, okay, and try new things to become better and more competitive. A big percentage of credit unions are adverse to exploring new opportunities with new partners, and because they operate in somewhat of an old school manner, if that kind of ties into what you had said. And in my experience and what I've seen, most credit unions only utilize one or two mortgage insurance partners. Now, that said, being in the relationship business that I'm in, I can truly appreciate the loyalty and understand that it's earned over time. However, technology has made it so convenient for credit unions to add more mortgage insurance partners to make them more competitive for their members. I do believe that they feel it's a long and arduous process to sign up and get rolling, when in fact, like I had mentioned, the technology, that's the furthest from the truth. It is a really simple process. And I feel, to wrap this up, the best part of this question is having competition amongst all of your MI partners is a great thing and only benefits the members even more.
Well, it's the truth of the matter is that and you might hate me for saying this, but I didn't have relationships with every MI company, but I had more than two. I had strong relations, because don't hate me, I didn't have a relationship with Essent. There was actually
no, it's okay.
There actually wasn't an Essent rep in my area.
He already knows that. He went and looked you up.
there wasn't an MI Essent rep in my area, so don't hate me for that, please. If there was, I would have considered it. But I had relationships with three, and because I knew that in certain situations, one in my company would be better than another, and I required all of my loan officers to check every MI company on every single loan, because you just never knew when an MI company would provide a better option for that member.
Why? You're exactly right.
Why always go with one? Because one MI company might be better with two borrowers at 90%. Another MI company might be better with one borrower at 95. You just never know. So why not price them differently? It's just like any other investor.
100%. And if I may, I would like to kind of add a little bit there to your thought. And there's 6 mortgage insurance companies that exist. I'm certainly not saying everyone out there needs to sign up with all 6 mortgage insurance companies. But let me put a little something in perspective that could really be helpful for everybody to understand that, because at the end of the day, you want your member to have the best opportunity and the best pricing and deliver the best value that they can. And even in your example, Peter, you were doing business with 3 of my partners. That's honestly plenty, right? They're quoting 3 different ones. Now, to break it down a little bit simply with some numbers, if every MI company out there had an equal share of global business or the business out there, everyone would be about, let's call it 16%, 17, 18%, right? Market share. So if you're doing business with, I'll just make it easy and say, if you're out there doing business with 1 or 2 MI partners out there, and even though you've got the price, you like it, you can sell it, it works, then however, what you're doing is if those market share numbers are correct, which they are, then 60, 70% of the time, because you're not quoting all the MI partners, your members are paying too much for mortgage insurance. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good way to kind of understand that. Again, I'm not saying go out and sign up with all 6 MI partners, but when you can granularize it and think, gosh, if it's simple enough and my technology allows me to click a button and see all the pricing on one screen, why wouldn't I want to give my member the best opportunity I can on every transaction? That's my point there.
Right. Again, if I had a local SN rep, I would have considered them, but I didn't have a local SN rep. I didn't.
I have a feeling I might hear from them after this podcast, or whoever has that.
For the record,
whoever has that territory, right?
Listen. For the record. All right. So last question again.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, I said it before, and I didn't thank you, but I see how you interact with my team. My team loves you. The smile on your face when you interact with them, and I see how you interact with our members, and the smile on your face whenever you interact with our members within just our community in general. So thank you. And I know that you love this community. So thank you for that. It means a lot because Justin, go.
Oh, I was just going to add, and it also helps that your female doppelganger comes to every one of our events.
So yes, and for those that do not know and have not seen the picture of Krista and Michael next to each other, they are spitting images of each other. But anyways,
I feel I have a long lost sibling, I believe.
This is true.
Peter, true. That was great, and I'm glad that it shows on my face, because it's all genuine, and I do love working with you guys, and I love my job, and I love being a part of it. So thanks for that.
So that takes me to the last question is that love that which is contagious, that smile is contagious. And why do if you were to say that the parting words to a credit union who's listening right now, why is it so important for them to be part of this community, attend Acumen events, learn within this community? What would that be?
Oh my gosh, Peter, this is again another great question. But of course, I mean, it's because of the people. They're everything to Acumen. It doesn't matter if they're the president, the president of the credit union or the receptionist. Everyone is important, approachable, kind, and extremely genuine, generous with their time. And as one of your partners, I have always been treated with respect and kindness at every single one of your events. And I can say that not all lenders in our community out there are like that. And I think, really, why is it important to attend? I mean, gosh, another great question. One of the things I've noticed over the past few years I've been attending is that every single Acumen member that attends is collaborating with each other. They're sharing ideas with each other to make them better in their respective markets. They're happy to share their successes on new products or investors that are working and ones that are not working. The collaboration that I see between everyone it's astonishing. It really is. It's absolutely amazing. And kind of my last comment here is that, the content that you at your workshops and at the annual, are a reflection of how much time and effort you and your team put forth to make every single event so great. And this is what makes being a part of Acuma so valuable, and it's worth every single minute. And I hope to see everybody that's listening. I hope to see everybody in Vegas very soon.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
really wonderful to hear.
All right. Well, Michael, I appreciate you kind of, taking the opportunity to kind of, answer, I don't want to say a 6-pack of questions because there's only 5, but
one for another day.
One for another day. But it's time for us to transition to the second segment of our podcast. Now, normally, we reserve this segment for things like, Jeopardy, fun facts. Sometimes we do trivia. But for our MI mini series, we're sticking with dad jokes. Now, I asked you to come prepared with 2 to 3 dad jokes. To my understanding, you came prepared. Well prepared.
I did. I have even more. I have way more than 3.
All right. Well, we're gonna stick with 3. We're gonna stick with 3. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go around the horn. You'll do your 3. Justin will do his 3, and then we'll wrap up with my 3, and then we'll end the show. Sound good?
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right. So, Michael, you are first as our honored guest. So go for it.
You got it. So these are in no particular order. However, can you guys tell me why did the strawberry cry?
No.
His parents were in a jam. That's pretty good. That was a good one.
That's good.
Let's see. What did the baby corn say to the mama corn?
I'm all ears.
No, that's a good one, but not the punchline. What did the baby corn say to the mama corn?
What?
Where's popcorn? and the last one, and my favorite. Why can't you give Elsa a balloon?
Elsa from
what's the other girl from Frozen's name?
Anna.
Because Anna will pop it.
She'll let it go.
Oh, hold on. I wanted to say it. Peter, great response. You got it. But I was prepared to say because she will let it go.
All right. Those are good, Michael. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Justin, you're up.
All right. I hope I can do as good as Mike did. What do you call a parrot that flew away?
If it's, I swear, if this is one of those not your parrot jokes.
It's not, but those are also great. No. So what do you call a parrot that flew away?
What?
Polygon.
Polygon is funny.
All right. What did Newton think when he discovered gravity?
Ouch.
It's a good one.
Nothing.
It's about to go down.
Nice.
All right, and this last one's for Mike. I tried to find one about St. Louis and Cubs, and I couldn't find anything because my son's a Cubs fan. So I couldn't dog the Cubs for you. But a man leaves home, makes a left turn, makes another left, then another left turn, and then goes home again. When he gets home, there are 2 men wearing masks waiting on him. Who are they?
I want to say something like right something, but no,
it's the catcher and the umpire.
Dude, that's a good one.
You said you like baseball, so do I. So
I did. Oh, so you liked my St. Louis comment there. Make sure you tell your son the best baseball town we have here.
Yeah, he's 9. I don't want to have to listen to that argument with him. So no.
All right, my turn. The weatherman said it was gonna be a little muggy today, so I decided not to carry too much cash.
It took me a second, but I got it. That's good. That's good.
The other day I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know.
Which one crossed the road?
All right, last one. I don't know why I picked chicken ones, but why do chicken coops only have 2 doors?
To go out the other side.
Because they had 4. They'd be a chicken sedan.
Huh.
Oh, well done. Well done.
All right, very good. Well, Michael, appreciate you being here. Enjoyed the conversation. As always, appreciate everything that you do to support Acuma and the community. again, thank you, my friend.
You are so welcome. And now that we've concluded, it was definitely my pleasure, on behalf of Essent and myself. It certainly was an honor to be here. And this was a lot of fun. I will admit, of course, I was a little nervous, but you're right. We made it very casual and really, really enjoyed being here.
Love it. And Justin, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Okay. And to close out, thank you again to Lone Care for sponsoring today's episode. And to all of you, we know your time is valuable. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Acuma's On Point podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, be well, my friends.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time at the Acuma On Point podcast. If not already, be sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. For more great episodes and information, be sure to visit us online at acuma.org. And to get the latest updates, head over to our LinkedIn page.